I'm not familiar with Trucker John Livestream. Is that your live stream? If so, it sounds like you've got a lot of exciting content lined up. Can you tell me more about it? To be honest, I'm not familiar with the Trucker John Livestream. It sounds like a lively and exciting show, but I don't have enough information to give an opinion on it. Can you tell me more about it, or maybe provide a link to the stream so I can check it out? Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find any information about a YouTube live stream called Trucker John 3. Could you provide some more context or details about the live stream? Maybe it's a new or small channel that hasn't gained a lot of traction yet. I'm afraid I still can't find anything about a specific live stream called Trucker John on YouTube. It's possible that it's a small channel that's hard to find, or maybe it's a new live stream that hasn't gained a lot of traction yet. Could you tell me more about the live stream, like how long it's been running, what kind of content it usually covers, or any notable guests or segments? Oh, thanks for providing a link. I see that Trucker John 3 is a YouTube channel with over 50 subscribers. It looks like the channel mostly features videos about trucking, including road trip vlogs and trucker stories. Is that right? Wow, over 1,700 subscribers. That's quite impressive. It's clear that Trucker John has a dedicated following of people who are interested in his trucking adventures. Is he a full-time trucker, or does he just do it as a hobby? So if I'm understanding correctly, Trucker John used to drive trucks full-time, but now he drives for Uber and does live streams multiple times a week. Wow, that's quite the career shift. It's interesting to see how people can pivot from one job to another. That's a lot of hustle. What kind of content does he typically cover in his live streams? Welcome to the Trucker John livestream, where the conversation is always on the move. Join us as we navigate a wide range of topics, from politics to food to movies and everything in between. And don't forget to bring your questions and opinions, because we want to hear from you too. Buckle up and let's hit the road. Ha 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 ha. Glad to hear that I finally hit the mark. Let me know if you need any more suggestions or ideas for your live stream intro, to chat about anything else. I'm here to help and happy to keep the conversation going. Haha, you're very welcome. I'm glad we were able to work together to craft the perfect intro for your live stream. And thanks for giving me the opportunity to flex my creative muscles a bit. It was a fun challenge.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the place where no topic is off limits. Join me for a whirlwind tour through the latest in politics, pop culture, foodie favourites, and everything in between, with new episodes streaming every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time, Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time, and Saturdays around 11 a.m. Pacific Time, right after the House Sparks show. There's always something new to discover. Don't miss out on the fun. Tune in now.
You guys missed the funniest shit I've ever said ever in the whole years I've been doing this. You guys just missed it. Thanks, Carrie C, for telling me I was muted. Boy. Oh boy, why do I do that? I'm just gonna, from now on, I'm just gonna leave the mic on. See what I do when I have the little 5-minute thing going, the intro. I turn the mic off just in case if I'm fumbling around back here and whatever. I thought, well, I should probably mute the mic, if I'm making noise or whatever. But to tell the truth, I really don't make that much noise. I'm just sitting here. I'm kind of getting things ready, getting things ready to go, quiet, like a little church mouse. So from now on, I think I'm just gonna leave the mic on. And if you guys hear me, scoot the chair, or the little paddling of my little feet, then so be it. Anyhow, that was probably the best part of the show, the silent part. I was saying, I was just going through. I was saying hi to Gulf Marine and Aaron West and Carrie C. and Wes Webb. I said really some hilarious stuff, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But what I guess what I was saying is I had these empty spots here, and I could put stuff on it. We could put everything's opposite. We could put a graphic here of Stinky McStinky Pants stinking up the court. And we could put something over here about Moscow Marge being a traitorous bitch that she is. She's over there, doing certain things on her knees to Vladimir Putin, probably. Or not that she's over there, but if she did go over there. Hopefully the audio is on now. Music, can't hear you, player. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Tim Farrell's here. So far, I can't disagree with a single thing. Exactly. Music, he's back. Big Hook, John, you ignore us at your own peril. Tim Farrell, Trump wishes, whoops, what did I do? Trump wishes he had MGT's hands, but I can tell you, but not her toes. Not her toes. I heard they are cloven. What is it? You know what I mean. My two favorite people right here, Donald Trump and Moscow Marge. My two favorite people to bag on. More like it. My two favorite people to trash. They're both traitors, by the way. There's a theme going on here. I can tell there's a theme. Which one of these two pictures is a traitor to America? Answer: both. They're both traitors. They're both disgusting traitors. And I remember what we used to do to traitors. I guess we don't do that anymore. I won't even say it because I don't want to get in trouble. But we used to do a certain thing to traitors, and now we just seem to donate to their campaigns or something. I don't know. But they deserve whatever they get. And I think that this one is going to prison. And I think this one is going to be backbenched at the very least. She might win her little ruby red district. But when we take over the House, we, meaning the Democrats, because I'm a Democrat, she's going to get so far backbenched that you won't even know she's in the House of Representatives. But boom. Big Hook says agree on that. Okay. I hope you did. I hope you do. Anyhow, so I guess the part you missed, I was just going over the weather. Basically, that's all you missed. It's 75 degrees, going to hit 85 degrees. Tomorrow it's going to be in the 90s all through the foreseeable future. We're going to be mid-90s. Before you know it, we'll be in the hundreds, and that's not good. I mean, I don't like it. I mean, 100's okay, but when it starts getting to be 115, 116, 118, 122, that's when it sucks. Because the overnight low will be 100 or 105. Like right now, when it's 85, 90, the overnight low is in the 60s or 65. That's nice that it cools down like that. But when we start getting those 115, 120 degree days, yeah, it cools down, but it's still 105 degrees all goddamn night. That's what I hate. But fortunately, it's only for a couple months. Actually, but this year it might be longer because it seems like we're getting warmer sooner. We had a warm winter. We've had kind of a warm spring. We're probably gonna have a scorching summer. But hey, it is what it is. Wes Webb's listening in the car. Getting that lawn care done. Getting some lawn care supplies done or whatever. I don't know. Let's see. Big Hook says, give her a broom closet and let her stomp in anger where nobody hears or cares. I'll give her a broom closet. No, if you know what I mean. So I don't know. It's just a matter of time when people are going to start saying, could you please take those pictures down? Because whatever. But I don't know what I could replace it with. So I could look at my little gallery here. Okay, we could take this out, take that out. I really haven't updated anything. That's the problem. So everything is kind of old. You know, there's this one. Honk. If you think I'm the pipe bomber. West Webb, you're in the car right now. You should start honking. And then we've got just what I was just talking about. We got this one here, and this kind of fits not real nice right there. I have to be really careful because this little tripod, I have knocked it over before. Nick Ridge can attest to that. So, boy, we got a theme going here with Margie and Donnie being the center of attention. But yeah, she's the pipe bomber. She should be in prison for that. And Trump is a traitor. No doubt about it. He's a fucking traitor. So I wasn't really planning on this being that being kind of the theme of the show today, but it just sometimes these things happen. It happens, it happens. Let's see, Jeannie's here. Good to see you, Jeannie. I guess I already saw that one. James Williams is here. Says good afternoon. You don't have to trash them. They do a good job of trashing themselves. As far as Moscow March investigations into 100 plus elected members that took part in the coup attempt. Yeah. All of those assholes, they were meeting before Jan 6. Members of Congress. They should all be fucking brought up on charges, convicted of treason or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I call it treason. I guess they would call it insurrection or whatever the fuck. And they should all be in prison. They should all be fucking kicked out of Congress. Big Hook says, we had a crazy hot day yesterday. This global warming stuff is here and now. 30 degrees Celsius in May is not normal for British Columbia. And God only knows how much that is in Fahrenheit because I don't speak Celsius, but it sounds like it's hot. Big Hook says, is Vegas weather out of the norms? Yeah, this is daytime high of 85. That might be about normal. Maybe that might even be slightly above normal, a couple degrees, but not too much. But tomorrow we're getting into the 90s, and all next week it's going to be like 95. That definitely is about probably 10, at least I would say 10 degrees above normal for May. We're usually around 80, 75, 80, maybe 85 on a hot day. But to be 95, and it looks like it's a foreseeable future. They had a 10-day forecast on the Weather Channel, and so starting tomorrow, it's 90 degrees for the next 10 days. And not just 90, I mean, it's like 95, 96. And so, all those backyard thermometers are going to be busting over 100. And then people are going to be going, it was 100 degrees today. But yeah, it's above normal. Once we're getting into those mid-90s, I'd say we're at least 10 degrees above normal, above average. Probably more, maybe a little more. James Williams says, what makes you think the investigations ever stop? Well, I don't know. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know. Did I say they stopped? I guess what I meant was this, like, let's chop, chop, chop. Let's get it going here. I don't know. I don't really hear much about it. But yeah, I mean, hopefully it's still going on in the background, and then they're going to drop some charges on these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's a good point, James. I don't know. Hopefully it hasn't stopped. I just wish it didn't take so goddamn long. And I know, they gotta dot every I, cross every T. They gotta blah blah blah, boo boo da boo. But bobbity beep. But it's been 3 years? So since Jan 6? Or 4 years? What am I saying? This is the election year, so it'll be 4 years in January, so 3.5 years or whatever. So, let's get a move on, DOJ or whoever it is doing these things. Tim Farrell says, she is not the pipe bomber. I get that people hope she is, but she would have exposed herself. I think it may have been Ashley Babbitt. Maybe so. And yeah, and if she's not the pipe bomber, she's still a treacherous bitch. Because she was in the planning stages. She conspired. She's a conspirator. And did you ever see that movie Was it called The Conspiracy about when Lincoln was assassinated, and they hung that whole crew. They hanged him, and it was quick. It was really quick. It seems like the movie made it look like it was 3 days later, but I guess it was months later, or I think it was within a year. It was less than a year. They all hanged those bitches. We don't do that anymore. Whatever happened to the Law and Order Party? I guess they only like law and order and to enforce that stuff when it's not their side doing the shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Wolverine says TJ is truly a nice guy. To get him cussing like this takes some doing. Yeah, I guess. Big Hook, air conditioning will be your savior. Yes. Without the AC, man. David Windler is here. Hey, good to see Dave. June is hottest month sometimes. Usually here in Vegas, July is usually the hoggest and hottest. It might be the hoggest too. Not too many hogs here though, actually. But July is usually the hottest, and August is usually a close second. Last year we didn't have our first 100-degree day until well into June. And I predicted on the last show we're gonna get 100 before the end of May, I think. So it's getting we're gonna get hotter sooner and have a longer, hotter summer this year than we did last summer. That's my prediction. Michael McAndrews, it's getting hotter. Yep. But did you see? If you guys listen to Randy Rhodes, at the top of the hour, they have the Bradcast, and it's like Brad and Desi, and they do this environmental reports and stuff like that, things of this nature. And see if I can remember what I heard, if I can remember it correctly. It was that, due to I guess it's the Inflation Reduction Act, they had a lot of things in there for incentivizing green new energy, in solar and wind and in electric cars, everything. And if I can remember this, and maybe you guys can refresh my memory, said that there's been like a 3% reduction in something. I don't know if it was just in emissions or what they were measuring, but in this short period of time, that's just been the last 3 years, due to these environmental stimulus programs and really incentivizing new green cheap basically energy, that there was a 3% drop in something. I forget what it was, in toxic emissions or in CO2 or something. I don't know, maybe not CO2, but whatever it was. And that's so great and that's so wonderful. That's why we need to keep Democrats in office, especially in the presidency and especially in the U.S. Congress. Because when the Republicans get in there, we already got that report. We already heard, you guys have heard about how Trump had all these big oil executives from all the big oil companies at Mar-a-Lago, and he said, if you give me $1 billion for my campaign, day one, I will strip away all the environmental laws that Biden has been putting in there, and I will let you have carte blanche to do whatever you want. There will be no restrictions, nothing. I will do that on day one. All you gotta do is give me $1 billion. That's what the asshole said. God, he's an asshole. His face is an asshole. Look at that. Asshole face. So that's why, just that alone is important. Let alone, women's rights, women's bodily autonomy being stripped away. They want to strip away child working laws that have been around for 100 years. They want to strip those away. Come on, man. Come on, man. What the fuck? That's really what Joe's saying when he says, come on, man. He's saying, what the fuck? But he's a good guy, and he doesn't talk that way in front of the mic, except when he says to Barack Obama, hey, it's a big fucking deal, man. But, so yeah, fuck Trump. Fuck the Republicans, man. They don't care about anything other than money. Money, 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 like Carlos says about Melania. Carlos Zacharaki, whatever his name is, on Stephanie Miller's show. And Reno 911, right? Fame. All they care about is money, and making the rich people rich. They don't give a fuck about the working class people, the middle class people. They certainly don't give a fuck about the poor people. All they care about is making money for themselves. Zero taxes is what they want. Zero. They want to just privatize all the gains, socialize all their losses. Whenever they lose, they want to dump it on us. And if they gain anything, they want to keep it all to themselves. So fuck them. Fuck Trump. Fuck Marge. Fuck the Republican Party. Yeah, Gulf Marine, I'm fucking pissed. When I start talking about those assholes. I'm not pissed at you guys. I'm pissed at the GOP. I'm pissed at Trump. I'm pissed at people who vote for those assholes and put them in office. All because the Democrats are going to take away my guns. And I don't like gay people getting married. And abortion's murder. But we don't give a fuck about after they have the kid and they're living in poverty and they can't get a good education and they can't have food in their stomachs. So we're not going to give them lunchtime programs or anything like that. We don't give a fuck about that. But abortion's murder. Fuck you, you fucking asshole GOP motherfuckers. You Republican assholes. Fuck you. You're all a bunch of dumb shits. So there. That's my cussing. That's me cussing about it. I'm cussing. Okay, so let's get back to the chat before I just go completely off the rails here. Big Hook, do you have water restrictions? I think they do. For people who have lawns, they can only water their lawns on certain days or something like that, certain minutes. Meanwhile, we have golf courses all over the fucking place that, I don't know, maybe they say they use recycled water or something, but I bet you 90% of that is evaporated, so I don't know. If they're going to have golf courses, I say just put fake grass, you know. I know that people will say fake grass radiates heat or whatever, but so I don't know. No matter what, it's so fucked up. But anyhow, Andrew, 125 I've never seen 125. I've seen 122, I think. Official. I don't know if I've seen 125 here. Certainly in Death Valley's gotten over that, probably. I think last year or so, or a couple years ago, I think Death Valley like 135 or some crazy thing like that. But over here in Vegas, 122 is the highest official temperature I think I've seen, and that was at the airport. And it was so bad they had to shut the airport down because the tarmac was getting so pliable that when the planes were landing, the wheels were like sinking into the tarmac. That's how bad, that's how hot it was. So, hey, it looks like Jolie is here. Hello, Jolie. Good to see you. Sehal says they won't prosecute Trump on any heavy charges till well after the election, and all his fit throwing don't mean anything. So your ass better vote. Yeah, that's it. Vote, 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 vote. And then vote again. Vote early, vote often, vote blue, vote Democrat. Not because you're a little sheep or a goat. No. Not because you're a sheep. It has nothing to do with that. Okay, people. Because there are people like, I'm not a sheep. I'm not going to just vote blue no matter who. I'm independent. I'm independent thinking. I'm an independent thinker. How dare you insult me by telling me to vote blue no matter who? Okay, all that means is the Democrats are better. I just mentioned a whole bunch of things of why they're better. About the environment and about equality and about women's bodily autonomy and about child labor laws, for Christ's sake, that they're trying to strip away. That's why you vote for Democrats over Republicans. I don't give a fuck about your goddamn guns, by the way. I don't give a fuck if they do take all your fucking guns away. They're not. The Democrats are just about sensible gun safety motherfucking laws, okay? But to tell the truth, I don't give give a fuck if they take away your goddamn guns. Fuck you and your guns, by the way. I'm a little cranky this morning, it seems like. I didn't realize I was so cranky until I started doing the show. And I am a bit cranky. Maybe having these two motherfuckers on each side of me is making me cranky. Maybe I should take those down. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just a cranky old bitch. You know, you never know. Hey, look at this one. Will this one make me happier? Now, this is an old one. All these graphics are kind of old. But, and so about the job numbers. Hey, look, we know that Donald Trump was shitty on jobs, as you can see. Biden has been awesome on jobs. What was it, 20 million jobs or 100 million jobs, billion jobs? I don't know how many jobs, but way more than fucking Trump did. We were losing jobs under Trump. I don't want to hear any shit about how Bidenomics is not good. I haven't watched it yet, but there's this one trucker who posts shit. His name is Doomspeak or whatever the fuck his name is. And I shouldn't probably bash him quite yet because I didn't watch his stupid video. But I've watched his videos before and I know what he's about. And the title was something about dealing with Bidenomics and how tough it is or whatever. And I'm just like, fuck you too. Fuck you, doom sprayer. If you're doing bad right now, it's because of you. It's not because of Biden. So bite me, you motherfucker. Trump was shit. You can see there's where Trump took a shit. I can't go over the graphic. And Biden, like I said, this graphic is a couple months old, I think. And so things have been even just continued to grow and grow and grow under Biden. So, I know I'm preaching to the choir, and so one of the messages I think that I've seen on Jetta, and I think I've seen it on Randy Rhodes, I think I've seen it on, who else was I watching? The message, maybe it was Nicole Sandler. The message is, okay, look, I'm preaching to the choir. All of us, most of us in the chat are probably of the same like mind. There might be some trolls in here, I don't know, but we're all pretty much an agreement about how much better the Democratic Party is and how we have to vote blue and we have to re-elect Biden. We have to get the House back and we need to keep the Senate. I think we all pretty much agree on that. And we know that the Republicans are fuckheads and they just don't really give a fuck about this country. Really, they just care about themselves. They're just greedy little selfish bitches is what they are. And so I'm preaching to the choir here. So I guess the message of these places I just mentioned, those other shows, is that we need to talk to our Republican friends, guys, our workmates, I don't know, and find out or tell them, because a lot of people don't even know what's going on. They don't even really know what's going on. They don't even know that Trump is on trial right now. And I've heard a couple stories, I think on Randy Rhodes and Nicole Sandler, about personal stories. Randy was talking about how she goes to her hairdresser, I guess, and she was talking to them, and they had no idea there was even a trial, that Trump is on this trial, this hush money trial. I had the same thing happen to me. Just a couple nights ago, I was driving in my Uber. I was doing Uber. And a very nice guy gets in. We had a very nice conversation. Somehow we got on the topic of Trump. And he was just talking about how, and this is a black guy. And the reason I bring that up is because I think I've seen a bunch of things about these kind of like black rappers or whatever who think that Trump is cool or whatever. And I'm not saying this guy is a black rapper, but he's a black dude. And he was saying how he always thought Trump was cool. He always liked Trump or something. And he goes, because we used to watch The Apprentice, and we all thought he was cool and everything. And then I just said, no, well, I never liked Trump. And he's like, really? He was really surprised. I go, no, I always thought he was a sleazebag, even going before The Apprentice. And when The Apprentice came on, I never watched it. He goes, really? You never watched it? And I go, no, I just saw clips of it here and there. I know about the "you're fired" thing, and mainly I just watched clips, mainly on Talk Soup. They would show that stuff, but I had no interest in watching it. I've never liked Trump. And he's like, oh, really? I go, yeah, he's a sleazebag. And I go, I said something like, this trial he's in right now, he's going to get found guilty. And then the guy was like, what trial? I go, and I'm like, you don't know about the trial that's going on in New York right now? And he's like, no, I didn't even know anything about it. And I was like, yeah, this trial has been going on for like weeks now. And he's getting his ass handed to him. And he's like, oh, really? And I go, yeah, Stormy Daniels has been there testifying. It's all about how, Trump paid to hush her up and he didn't report it. He tried to cover it up. And so it was campaign finance violation. And he's like, oh, I didn't even know that. And I was like, yeah, it's going on right now. And he's probably going to get convicted of that, found guilty. And the guy was like, wow, I had no idea. So people don't know, other than you and me and this, sparklers and people who listen to Stephanie Miller and Randy and stuff. We know, but I guess we're just the wonks. I guess we're just like these wonky wonks or whatever. I don't know what we are, but most people don't know about it. And if they have heard of it, they just got like maybe a little headline or something, or a little. They don't really know the details of it. So I guess we need to spread the word. Spread the word, man. Ron Dukes is here. Hello, Ron Dukes. I know I'm probably 15 minutes behind in the chat. Big Hook says the CO2 emissions are lower based on Biden agenda. The electoral transaction needs to continue. Yeah, it does. And it will if we keep Democrats in the White House for sure. And if we can get back the House, keep the Senate, we can just keep going with green renewable energy, getting it more and more into our power grid and everything else. The Republicans will just strip all that away because it takes away from big oil and it takes away from fossil fuel industries, which they love, apparently. Hey, Mish, good to see Mish. Mish is here. And Mish says, my son is visiting and bought me a bunch of plants for Mother's Day. Oh, that's nice. He is on a hike today, so I am repotting and mostly just listening for now. Hugs to everyone who might want or need one. Well, thank you, Mish, so much. Thanks for being here. Hedge Enemy says, Republicans are all scum. Aaron West is here. David Windler. We're the choir. Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. Music says, a lot of golf courses don't pay taxes. Really? That's weird. Hedge Enemy says, I've challenged MAGA and Republican scum to change my mind. They can't do it if they confirm every point I make and they're proud of it. Music says, or rather, a lot of golf courses get major tax breaks and some pay no property taxes. That is really weird. I didn't know that. I wonder why that is. Why does a golf course get such a break? Hedge Enemy says, Republicans have lost a generation of young women and they know it. That's why they're trying to take voting rights away. Yeah, they want to, they would love to repeal the 19th Amendment, wouldn't they? Mozart, if you're talking in terms of sheep, you're a child. Not you, John. That's the point you're making, I think. What kind? Yeah, I mean, I was talking about, that's what they say. Like, that's what hey, look at there. I got a super chat from Michael McAndrews. Thank you so much, Michael. Let's see. Yeah, Michael McAndrews. I agree, John. Well, thank you so much for that there. Always appreciate that. Supporting the show like that. But Mozart, yeah, the reason I guess the reason I brought that up is because that's what I hear people say, right? Like if I say vote blue no matter who, the response I get back sometimes, more so from like a Republican or I guess it would be an independent or someone who's not really in a party, maybe. That's what they say. They say like, I'm not going to vote blue no matter who. And they say it's because, they're not a sheep or they're not just some blind follower, or it's not just, I think one time my sister said, it's not blue versus red, or this isn't like team, this isn't a team, like our team against your team or whatever. And so that's why I brought that up. But it's my way, and a lot of people's way, I think, of just saying how important it is to have the majorities in Congress. Okay? And to have the White House, of course. To have a president that's a Democrat. So when I say blue no matter who, I'm basically talking about the majorities and how important it is to have the majorities in, even at the state level, the state, the state legislatures, and of course the U.S. Congress. That's the way everything is set up. But the majority, the party in the majority, gets to set all the rules, to set all the committees, and they decide what comes up for a vote and what doesn't. It's so vitally important. That's why I say that. But of course, anyone who would push back on that is either a Republican or they vote for Republicans if they're an independent, if they're a so-called independent. They lean Republican or whatever. So that's what I was trying to talk about, I guess. Music says, I don't think either president has much to do with those numbers. Well, I do, because why is it that when Reagan and the first Bush were in there, we had high unemployment, I think the job market got pretty shitty. Then Clinton came in and we had a fucking boom. Silicon Valley boom and all that kind of shit. People will say, well, he was just riding off of Bush, Reagan, or it just clicked in, or whatever. He was just there at right time, right place because of the Silicon Valley boom just happened to happen there. Okay, well, then why did, after 8 years of W. Bush, Obama gets in, takes us from the brink of a Great Depression. We were in a Great Recession. And so why did, under Obama, things came around, we started getting jobs. We went from hemorrhaging over 300,000 jobs a month to gaining, probably averaging 180,000 to 200,000 jobs a month. We got out of the recession. And people say, oh, well, it just takes time. That was the Bush economy. They always try to say that, oh, yeah, it was the previous administration that just took time to take over. But that's bullshit. And then again, we saw it again when Trump crashed the economy, trashed it. He totally trashed the economy. And now we see what Biden has done in just not even a full term, turned it around, created millions and millions of jobs under his administration. So it does matter. Yeah, I know it's not just him, but his policies and that he pushes forward, using the bully pulpit, getting the CHIPS Act in there and the Inflation Reduction Act in there is huge. Those are huge things. And so I think it does matter. And I think you can't give Biden or whoever, Obama and Clinton, I think they deserve credit for turning around economies that were driven into the ditch. So that, as I think Obama has said, by the Republicans. And we've seen it within my lifetime, within my voting, adult voting lifetime since Reagan. So I've seen, that's 3 times that I've seen it happen. Where the Republicans are in there and they fuck everything up. They get high unemployment. Economy's not doing so great. We see a boom under Clinton. W gets in there, gets us almost into a Great Depression. Obama, boom, gets us turned around, gets us on the right track. Trump gets in there in one fucking term, trashes the economy. And now in less than one term, Biden comes in and has got fucking phenomenal, best numbers that I've seen in my lifetime. Economic numbers that I've ever seen. So I don't think we can deny that the economy does better under Democrats. And yeah, it's not just the president, but the president deserves credit, I think. Under their leadership, because they want to give them the blame. They sure, and the reason we do that basically is because the Republicans will for any little thing. Every time gas prices go up a goddamn penny, they're going to blame Biden for it. So when things go good, I think then if you're going to blame Biden or the president, whoever it is, for every little bad thing that happens, then when the good things happen, then you need to give them credit. That's my opinion on that. Hedge Enemy says music that reps MAGA aren't scum, but actually good people. At best, they're delusional, but at the end of the day, they make affirmative choice to choose evil. Doug G's here, says beep beep. Good to see Doug G. Thanks for being here. Michael McAndrews, yep, John. Hedge Enemy, like I said, eventually they all make that choice. Yep. Michael McAndrews, I guess you're just agreeing with me. Well, that's, at least I got one person in my corner. Robert Perpone is here. Was this a flamboyant gay black guy? I don't know if I want to dox anybody. Is that doxing? But a little bit, maybe. That's all I'm going to say about that. It was a nice guy. He was a great guy. In fact, he said that he, because on the Uber app under my little profile, it's a thing where I just put there, hey, I'm on YouTube under Trucker John. If you want to check out my channel. And so while we were talking, he checked out the channel and he said that he subscribed to me. So he might be listening right now. And I mean no disrespect to that person. Like I said, he was a nice guy, really friendly, very good, nice person. But I was just amazed how he had not heard of the trial. That was my point. I wasn't trying to put down that person. My point was that he had not even known anything about the trial. And for a lot of us in here, we follow these kind of things. It seems like, what, you didn't hear the trial? That was my point. So I wasn't trying to put down anybody or anything like that. Okay? Just want to be clear on that. Now, let's see. I saw Jolie saying hi to Ron Dukes, and I guess I had passed that. I just wanted to say hi, because I believe that's a new name, a new person I don't think I've seen before. I'm scrolling. I don't see, I'm on all chats, so for some reason I don't see that. Oh, there it is, Ron Dukes. Hi. Well, there's Ron Dukes. Hello, Ron Dukes. Good to see you. Make sure you give me a like, subscribe, and share, and all that good stuff. Let's see. I scrolled up, now I got to scroll back down. Just to kind of get caught up with where you guys are at and where we're all at here. Hey, Kim, formerly Kim Chi, now Kim Proud Dim is here. Good to see Kim Proud Dim. I'm a Proud Dim too. God damn it! I've been a registered Democrat basically my whole life, my whole voting life, and I've never voted for a Republican in my life. I kind of sound like, was it Cassidy Hutchins or whatever her name is? Like when she said, I've never voted for a Democrat in my whole life. That kind of bugs me in a way, but I know what she said was really good when she said, hey, but I'm not voting for Trump, and I would even consider voting for Biden because he's a good, decent human being. He's a good man, and basically, I'm paraphrasing, and he seems to have, his best interest at heart, for the country or whatever she said. And that was great. And that was beautiful that she said that. This diehard Republican, right? But when she said, I've never voted for a Democrat in my life, of course, I get a little defensive in a way where I'm like, why not? What is it that you fucking hate so much about Democrats? I mean, I don't get that. I mean, you're a woman, for Christ's sakes. Maybe she didn't see it until now about Democrats not giving a fuck about her and her bodily autonomy. And God forbid she's pregnant and she has problems with pregnancy and she's in Florida or something, God forbid, or Texas or some back-assward country or state like that. They seem like separate countries. Because let me tell you something. Pregnancy is not so simple and easy. It's tricky and it's scary. It can be. It's not like in the movies where the babies just pop out, I mean, there's a lot of complications that come with that. And I know because, look, my mom, when she had me, she was only 18 years old. She was very young. And I was a big, healthy, bouncing baby boy. And I think maybe that took a big toll on her young body. because between me being born and my brother being born like 16 years later, in between that, she had at least 3 miscarriages that I know of. Because 2 of them were I was pretty young, but the third one, I was like 14, I think. And I remember that one very clearly. So she had these miscarriages. She wanted more children. She didn't want just old Johnny here. That didn't sound right. I wanted brothers and sisters too, and she wanted to have more kids. And they kept trying. God bless them. They kept, my dad and mom, they kept trying. And she had at least 3 miscarriages that I know of. So I guess my point is that it's not just so wham bam, you know, it's a sure thing that the pregnancies are going to be carried out to term and everything's going to go fine. My mom had really, really difficulty. And it really was sad because she wanted to have kids so bad. And it was at the point where we thought, after that last miscarriage when I was like 14, and she got pretty far in the pregnancy. The other one, she miscarried earlier. This one, she got, I think, like 4 months or something. I mean, she was showing, she was going to her doctor's appointment, everything. She was getting good reports, you know, good checkups. Everything seemed fine. Then all of a sudden, during the middle of the night, and I heard this because we had a 3-bedroom house, but only had 1 bathroom. You know, like most houses we had at least 2 bathrooms. But this particular house, it was only 1 bathroom, and it was like right next to my room. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, I heard all this commotion going on. And like my mom was in the bathroom, and then my dad was up. And I just stayed in my room. I was like, oh, what's going on, you know? But I could hear like crying, and I could hear all this stuff. And then, then I kind of figured out something was really bad with my mom in the pregnancy. And I think she miscarried right there in the bathroom or something. I think she might have, I think the baby maybe came out. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But then my dad sort of poked his head in my room to see if I was awake. And he's like, John, you awake? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, I got to take your mom to the hospital. You okay? You want to just stay here? And I was like, yeah, I'll just stay here. I just stayed home. I was like 14, so, you know, it was no big deal. But they went to the hospital, and then they came back later on that morning, you know, and it was like my mom, they told me she miscarried the baby, and it was such a horrible, sad thing. Now, you know, emotional, but the point is, you know, pregnancies can be scary and tricky, and things can happen. And then we have these fucking people in Florida. I can't even talk about it now. Sorry, guys. Oh, shit. But it's just fucked up. It's fucked up. These Republicans, maybe that's why I get so angry, because of shit like that. Tomorrow's Mother's Day, too. I might have to take a moment here. Man, just think about stuff and it just affects you. You know? It's funny how this stuff was from 50 years ago, you know? Or whatever. And I feel like bawling my head off just thinking about it. But now tomorrow's Mother's Day. Think about my mom. Okay, anyhow, guys. Let's just change the subject. Let me just read the chat. See how you guys are doing. Okay, guys, so there's Kim and Robert, Edge Enemies here, Julie, Michael Granders, there's that super chat. Thank you so much. That's how far behind I am in the chat. That was a while ago. Thanks, Michael, I appreciate that. Gulf Marine Republicans are functionally Russian. Gino Maynard's here. Good to see Gino. Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe and share for me if you can. We're at 44 likes, so that's a good number. 44 double. I like double numbers like that, but let's not stay there. Let's get to 50. Mozart, proud of him. I think Colt is accurate, and I don't know what FWIW is. I have a degree in religious studies. I wrote my dissertation on a cult from China. Wow. Well, look at you getting all smart and stuff. Big Hook says Mozart is the drug users and issue of addiction. Lack of rehab centers. Yeah, we could definitely use more rehab centers and do more of that type, rehab, rather than just prison, right? I think. Mr. Spock. Hey, Mr. Spock's here. Good to see you. Live long and prosper. Or try to get where you can see that. Let's see. I can do a better job. That's a little bit better. I don't know. But hey, good to see you, Mr. Spock here. That's the talking point Hal's using. He's brainwashed to believe a lot of BS stuff. That shows detachment of reality. What can you expect from a capitalist? Well, I think Hal's point about homelessness, I think, is that it's not just one thing. It's not just whatever you think it is. There's like a whole different. It's more complex than it just being like one thing. That's what I take when I listen to Hal say that. So I don't think he's brainwashed. And you know, if you're anti-capitalist, then you're free to have your opinion. But like my dad always said, we are big enough, rich enough country that we can do both. We can have social programs, like a social safety net, and now I'm going to start crying about my dad probably. And we can have, because they're both dead, and we can have capitalism. We can have people that create jobs and create businesses and you know, make profits. We can do both, and I agree with that. I agree with my dad on that. So you can be anti-capitalist all you want. It's free country. You're free your choice, freedom of choice, freedom of your opinions. But I believe we can do both. We can have strong safety social nets and social programs like Medicare for All, for instance, and we can still have capitalism. Just the capitalists have to have rules. They can't be untethered, unfettered. There needs to be rules to keep them from themselves, basically, to keep them from their greed getting the better of them and making it where they just always cause these implosions. And you know, that's my opinion on that. Let me just skip down. I'll skip all the Hal bashing. There seems to be some Hal bashing today for some reason. Michael McAndrews. There's a Hal Sparks, one of the greats, and I agree. Me and Michael are on the same. I think Hal's a great guy, and I don't agree with him on everything. You don't have to agree with him on everything to think he's a great guy. There are some times that he says stuff, and I'm like, really? Hell, you know. But for the most part, I think he's pretty right on. So, and if nothing else, he makes you at least think, and he backs this shit up with a very well thought out, you know, is it premise? Whatever it is, you know. I mean, it's not like he just spews shit out like I do every now and then, and I'm like, well, I don't know why I said that, but whatever Hal says, he knows why he says it. I mean, he doesn't just, you know, say shit for no reason. You know what I mean? Mr. Spock, the major cause of homelessness is mental illness. That could be, but there's more than one reason. That's not the only reason. Let's see. I really am behind here. MJ Daniels here. MJ says, I have seen and heard some homeless that prefer living on the street for whatever reason, but they are a minority of homeless. Yeah, there are those. There are people they don't want to help. Some of them, they resent it. They like living on the street. But I do think living on the street makes you kind of crazy. I mean, it turns you crazy. I can just imagine it. And I've seen people every day as I'm driving. I see homeless people all over the place, and I just feel so bad for them. And I think that being on the street, whatever craziness they may have had, I think it certainly makes it even worse. Michael McAndrew says, as I see it, the Republicans caused a bunch of homeless since Reagan. We all saw it coming. Yeah, because, Reagan did everything he could to sort of like defund mental institutions, I think. Mr. Spock, I was almost homeless, so I joined the military. NJ Daniel, a system which allows both mother and fetus to die is not pro-life. I do not know why Republicans cannot understand this. Yeah, talk about being brainwashed, right? These Republicans that vote for Republicans, these Republican voters, they just fall for their line, the Republican Party's line, like hook, line, and sinker, sinker. Tim Farrell says tax breaks for golf courses are largely is the only way to keep golf affordable for the middle class. It's hard to make a profit unless you can launder Saudi money or bury an empty casket. But places like Bedminster, those aren't public courses anyhow. Those are private clubs that have probably very expensive. That I think the only ones that maybe are affordable to middle class would be public golf courses. Michael McAndrew says billions of profit dollars around and we still have homeless. We need to do a much better job, and that's what I think about here in Vegas. Vegas has reported, I think it's something like, is it 13 straight months of over $1 billion in, I forget if it's revenue or profits, to tell the truth. But whatever it is, it's a very positive report about the Las Vegas strip casinos. So they've been, for the last at least 13 months, they've had over $1 billion every single month. And like I said, I forget if it's revenue or profits, because that's a big difference. But the point is they're doing very well. Regardless, they're doing very, very well. And yet I don't see any money going back into trying to help homeless people. I mean, I see very little in shelters, very little in trying to help them with jobs or with healthcare or mental health care, like healthcare in general, and then mental health care. I don't see that going on. But I mean, I think there are programs, there are things going on, but I don't know. It seems like with all the money that this town generates, that there should be like world-class leading kind of help for homeless people here, But I don't know. What do I know? Kim Proud Mom, I know 2 women who miscarried in the toilet. Yeah, I think that's what my mom did on that last one. Because if I remember correctly, I think I saw blood and stuff in there a little bit after they left and stuff, to the hospital. And I think I remember my mom saying like she saw the baby's face and stuff. It was very sad, very, very, very sad. Big Hook says that the abortion restrictions are stupid because birth defects or stillbirths are always found after 15 weeks. The uneducated making a medical decision in the mass is insanity. Yeah, it's just, and that's why I'm thinking, it's going to be November. I mean, because I can't see the majority of women putting up with this, and then all of the guys who are I feel just, you know, talking about my mom. It angers me so much to think that my mom, like if my mom was around and say she was in Florida and she was like childbearing age or whatever, you know, how scary that would be to be in a place like Florida, you know, where she couldn't get adequate health care. And you know, and she's a woman that had a history of miscarrying, you know, that would be so scary. What if that was everywhere? What if that was in all 50 states? Like we're in California, so, you know, but, and this is back in the 70s, so, but it's scary to think, it's frightening. So I really hope in November that we just kick the Republicans' asses. We just in all elections, for all offices, president, U.S. Congress, right on down the line, our state and local elections, all the way down the line. We need to just kick the Republicans to the curb. Yeah, Gina Maynard, Republicans would investigate my mother. Boy, I'm really behind here. Oh, Mr. Belpit, Trump 2024. Yeah, for prison. Trump 2024 for prison. Yeah, I agree. I would agree with that. Yeah. Philly 3000 here. We have a mega among us, a mega MAGA. Kim Pradim von Schützenpants is a god. Yeah. Michael Menders, I hit the like 10 times. Hey, we're at 51 likes. Thank you so much. Good to see we broke the 50 mark. Oh, Mr. Belput, I forgot this is the woke trucker laughing out loud. Yeah, and I'm hoping to make you woke, whether you like it or not. And if I can't do it, maybe someone in the chat can help get you woke. Michael Managers, to be against woke is to be really stupid. I agree with that, Michael. How is he? I'm old enough to remember when capitalists cared about people. Mozart, I'm not here to bash Hal. It came up in chat. I know. I think he's a bigot regarding homelessness and students who care about things. That's all. We can disagree. I don't think he's a bigot at all. I think bigot. No, he's not a bigot. Oh, Mr. Belpit, no Medicare for all. Yeah, just if you get here's the Republicans' health plan. If you get sick, die quickly, motherfucker. All right, old Mr. Belpit, is that the kind of healthcare system you want? If you get sick, just die quickly. Mr. Spock says, so MAGA parroting talking points is not brainwashing. Hal is exactly the same, just different false talking points. Sorry, John, you're wrong. It's brainwashing. Okay, wait. Hal. So you're saying that Hal is parroting talking points? Sorry, Mr. Spock, to throw this back in your face. You're wrong. All right, he's not parroting talking points. He gives his opinions, and he's very whether you agree with him or not, he's very detailed in his explanations. But you don't want to hear that because it's something that you don't agree with, so you shut that part down. You don't listen to his explanations because you're already fuming about somebody disagreed with the great Mr. Spock's opinion, apparently. Aaron says, I'm glad I missed the Hal bashing. I'm really sensitive to that. Yeah, well, Mazur says, please don't read on air, holding Hal accountable for his words, not bashing. Oh, I was not supposed to read that on air? I don't know. Okay, you can hold him accountable, but just don't say stuff that's not true. It's not. He's not. I don't know if you're saying he's brainwashed or he's trying to brainwash us. He just gives his opinions, and like I said, he has very well detailed points to his opinions. He doesn't just say stuff willy nilly. And like I said, you can disagree with him. I don't always agree with him. You know? So that's fine. The maggot troll that's in here just kind of throwing out things, just throwing out words. Kim Proud Dim, been with Hal since 1. Kim Proud Dim says, been with Hal since before the pandemic. I know him. We have the right to quit. Yeah, you can, like I said, you don't have to agree with everything that he says. And you can question his opinions. But I disagree when you say he's just parroting talking points. Because he'll go off and he'll explain point in very well detailed, very, very wordy times. You know, at that time it's not just a talking point. It's because he's very detailed in his explanations of why he believes what he believes. And like I said, you don't have to agree with that, but to say that he's just parroting talking points, I think is really kind of insulting to him. John McClure says, Hal really has political ambitions and has positioned himself as super status quo regarding this version of capitalism, believes it is perfection. I don't know. We'll see about that. Jesse Logie is here. I don't think I've seen Jesse Logie before, so thanks for being here. Good to see you in the chat. Says illegals do less crime than Americans do. They don't want to get exported. Right, they don't want to get deported. And that, I think that is statistically true. I think that is statistically true. Kim Proud Dim says real men wear diapers. Yeah, but they don't brag about it, especially when it is due to drug addiction, and especially when they put down every single person they see. If they don't meet Trump's ideal or of what a perfect person should look like, you know, then they get called fat. They get called ugly. Then if they have a physical or a handicap, they get made fun of, like that one reporter guy or whatever, you know. So if you're gonna conduct yourself like that and just make fun of everyone, then and you don't want to be made fun of in return, then you better be one perfect fucking physical specimen yourself. And he's not. So, like I say, if you're gonna dish out the heat, you better be able to take the heat. I think that's what I was trying to say. Mark Chapman says, I worked in a mental institution after the Army in Oregon, and I can tell. Hopefully you picked that up somewhere. Finley 3000, they're going to use Trump Tower for the homeless. There you go, homeless solved. Laughing out loud. If only that were true, that would solve it. You know, it's a complex issue. I think that's what Hal's trying to say too. It's a complex issue. It's not just one thing. There's a whole complexity to it. Tim President says, I made nothing up. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm not sure. I didn't say that. Did somebody else in chat say you made something up? Because I didn't say you made something up. But I kind of, skipped down because I'm just trying to get caught up a little bit here. Kim Brown Dan says, Hal is amazing. He does want to enter politics. His stance is becoming more moderate. These are facts. We are speculating if these are related. Philly 3000, do you know why ducks don't fly upside down? Because they don't want to quack up. Ba-da-boom. Hey, Roxanne Armfield, good to see you. Everyone has an opinion. Isn't that is true. Everyone has an opinion. They're just like assholes. Opinions, that is. Mazar says, John, oh wait. I keep reading. I guess I'm not supposed to read it out loud. So I'm not going to read it out loud. But I'll just say I disagree with you. I'll just say I disagree with you. But I guess I'm apparently not supposed to read that out loud. Mozart, the homeless prefer to be homeless is a yeah, and I agreed to that because I think I've heard people say that, but it's probably, again, I'm just kind of talking out of my ass here. That might be a less than 1% of the homeless people feel that way, you know. So I have no idea how many feel that way, but there are some that do feel that way. But yeah, it's much. The problem is much bigger than that, and it is much for many other reasons besides that. I'm the one that brought up the term Hal bashing. Because, you know, it just seemed like there was a bit of piling on going on. And I think, like I said, I don't agree with what you guys are saying as far as, you know, I wouldn't call Hal a bigot. I think he's entitled to his opinion, and I think he backs up his opinions. That's my point. I think he backs up his opinions with very well detailed hypotheses. He's not like me, where I'll just say something and I have no idea why I said it, or I won't. You know, the people will say, "Well, where are you getting that from?" And I'm like, "My ass." You know, that Hal doesn't do that. Hal is very well read, very well. He studies. I think if you ask him where did you get that, he'll fucking go on a half an hour telling you where he got that. But bottom line here, we have a lot of people talking about homelessness. It's a serious issue, no doubt, and I see it every day. I've got homeless people living right out my gate. Right, I took a video. You guys you guys who watch my videos, there's a homeless encampment right here where there's like a wash that comes down with water, and they use it like a little campground. And about every week or a couple weeks, the cops chase them all out. They clear it all out, and then they come back. It's just sort of this game. I guess they're allowed. I think I read something where they're allowed to set up a little spot, but for like 5 days, and then after 5 days they can be chased out. And the cops, so I think they go longer than 5 days, but it's because it seems like every couple weeks they clean it all out, chase them out, and then they just come back. Anyhow, everywhere I go, all around Vegas, even on the Strip, Fremont Street, surrounding areas, there's homeless people everywhere. And I feel really bad for them. I feel sad for them. I don't know, and I'm wondering, what can we do to help this problem? What do we need? And would a lot of those people, would they even take help if help was offered? I don't know. But it is a serious problem. It is an issue. And I don't agree with some of these laws. I think there was a law being passed in Oregon, maybe? I don't know if it passed or where they're at in that, but they're trying to make it basically illegal to be homeless, and I don't think that's the solution either. Because people were camping out in parks up in I think it was Oregon, and they were, and I don't know if this was a city thing or if this was a statewide law. I forget, but they were trying to get this ordinance passed or a law passed that would make it actually like a crime where they could be tossed in jail or they could get cited or whatever. I don't agree with that, because then you're just making the problem worse. Now you're making people not only homeless, but now you're giving them criminal records, which makes life even more difficult, more difficult to get jobs, or people who can get work, or who might try to get work so they can get out of being homeless. Then now you give them a record, a criminal record, and that makes it even more difficult. So I don't agree with that at all. That's not a solution. I think our solution is more, I think shelters, and the shelters should have in them access to mental health, access to just healthcare in general. They should have access maybe to job fairs or job openings, training, education, all that kind of stuff. That should be part of the shelter program. And it should be widely available, and it should be, made easily accessible by people who are homeless. That's how I see it, but I don't know where you get off thinking that Hal doesn't think like that. He probably would agree with what I just said. And I don't know where you guys are coming with like I said, bashing Hal. I think it is Hal bashing. I've kind of circled back around to that, haven't I? Mish says, I think you missed the original comment that started all this. TJ being me. Hal said homeless people prefer to stay homeless in order to do drugs and receive aid. I don't think he ever said that all homeless people do that. I think he said there's a segment of homeless people that do that. And I think he's right. Now, how big of a segment that is, I don't know. And I don't know if I don't think he thinks that's the majority. I think he thinks that's a segment of it. I've seen people come out of this homeless encampment by the river here, by the wash thingy, walk out of there. They're living in a tent, come out of there, and it looks like they're getting ready to go to a casino or something. It looks like they're ready to go out for the night. Like they're just using that place instead of buying a $200 a night hotel room or something. They pitched a tent in this little ravine. So I don't know. But I think you're overblowing what Hal is saying when he talks about that. He's saying that's a segment. See when I'm doing this little gesture? That means a segment. You got a segment here, you got this other segment, and then there's another segment, and there's another segment, and then there's another segment. There's probably 5 or 6 different segments that make up the homeless population. I don't think Hal is saying it's all people that are like drug tourists or whatever the way he puts it. I think he's saying it's a segment. But you guys just hear one thing that you don't like and you just latch onto it. That's what I have a problem with. Mozart says, but Hal's whole purpose is to make the complex simpler to explain the complex. And on the homeless issue, his simplification was immediately to blame the victims. Well, that's how you saw it. I didn't see it that way, so. Kim Proud Dim says, helping by forcing the homeless to do what you want. Who said that? Who the fuck ever said that? I didn't say that. Mozart, John, I just want you to know that I am not trying to make your show about Hal. Okay. MJ Daniel says, many homeless people, now this is MJ Daniel. I'm not saying this. Hal's not necessary, and I'm reading this, and I don't know the rest of the paragraph. So I just want you to know, I'm just reading chat. And MJ Daniel, according to, this is MJ Daniel's opinion, says many homeless prefer, now I don't know where we're getting these statistics from. I don't know if it's many, but anyhow, go. Let me just read it. Many homeless prefer that because other services in the U.S. can be worse, or they have mental illness and do not know better. I think most would rather have a place to call home. Okay, that's MJ Daniel's opinion. And I'm not saying I necessarily agree or disagree, but I think that there's probably a lot of truth to that, though. Mozart says, I agree. Less than 1%. Hal's first comment was that many choose it. His first and major point on the subject. That is telling. Okay, so you disagree with Hal on that. Like I said, I don't agree 100% with Hal and everything either. But I still think he's a great guy. I think he's extremely intelligent, and I enjoy listening to his comments and commentary and everything else. So, Kim Pradem, healthcare is crucial for the homeless. I think I have said that more than once. Words to that effect. Mozart, a bigot against X is not saying he is a general bigot. His words on homelessness were bigoted against the homeless. That is a fact. No, it's not a fact. That's your opinion. I'm not trying to keep the subject going, though. It's your opinion. At this point, I'm just going to say that's your opinion. Mr. Spock, I like the mini cage apartments in Hong Kong that would have solved homelessness situation, highly economical. It's a joke. Yeah, I don't know what the mini cages are anyhow, so whatever. MJ Daniel says, much of the homeless problems involving mental illness can be traced back to Ronnie Reagan. Yep. That is true. Reagan shut down a lot of the federally funded mental health facilities. Mozart, yes, they are persecuted underclass who deserve our empathy and help, not our scorn and our blame. Yep, I agree with that. David Willer, let Social Security insurance people save more than $2,000. Yeah, I agree with that too. Jolie reminding everyone we have channel memberships, super chats, and you can support the show by liking, subscribing, sharing, or you can buy me a coffee. Thank you, Jolie, for that reminder. We got 30 watching, 55 thumbs ups, you guys. Can we get to 60? That is the question. If we get to 66, I'll show you my football picture again. I don't know. Kim Brown Sim says, wouldn't tossing people in jail for being homeless just another illegal protest? Like I said, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that law up in Oregon. Let me make it very clear. I do not agree with that law. I think making homeless people into criminals is not the way to go because it just will create more homeless people. I guess I have to speak slowly. It will make it more difficult for homeless people to get off of being homeless. So it will create more homeless people if you create laws that turn them into criminals for being homeless. How much more clear can I be? John McClure says, Tolstoy or Dostoevsky, whatever, all happy families are same, but all unhappy families are unhappy in their unique way. Same for the homeless, all are there in their own unique way, only holistic care will work. Hal's own words is where. Was that a question? I didn't see a question. You put a period at the end, so now I'm totally confused. Michael McAndrews, free housing for the homeless is the way to go. Yeah, I think there are lots of different areas in different countries, and there are, I think, even some programs here in America where they've done free housing, they've done little stipends, kind of like almost like a, not quite like a universal basic income, but kind of like that. And they've done it in some limited studies, and they've shown that it has helped immensely, even if it's just a few $100 a week, and get some free housing. It's that is what's called investing in America. If we could do that, where you can provide some free housing, it doesn't have. And I remember like Rush Limbaugh would talk about this, and they want to give away mansions or whatever. Fuck you, Rush Limbaugh. I hope you're burning in hell. No, you give them some basic housing, you give them a few $100 a week or whatever, and then you let them still go out and try to get jobs or get training or get education, all that kind of stuff. That's I'd rather see something like that, something along those lines, than jail or prison or So, yeah. MJ Daniel says, rent control for the working homeless, the cost of a place to live is becoming out of control. Yeah. We're getting priced out. Mozart said, he said that, and it was his first and major comment on homeless. He hit it hard. All right, well, I think you're just overly sensitive to it. Because I think he said that there's lots of different aspects of homelessness. It's not just one thing. That was my takeaway. I guess your takeaway was that he's just saying it's all drug people that are drug tourists. And my takeaway was that there's lots of different reasons. It's not just one thing. It's just not one rubber stamp thing, and boom, that's it. There's a lot of different segments of it. That was my takeaway. So I guess we can all listen to someone say something, and we can take away something different. Really 3,000, the mega Powerball, and the rest. Where's all that tax money going, and what should we find out? I always heard it's supposed to be going to our educational system. At least in California it was. I'm just skipping down a little bit. Pisces Greeter's here. Hello, Pisces Greeter. Good to see you. Many is not a statistic. I know, that's what I'm saying. That was kind of my point, I think. Mish says he actually sounded just like TYT Anna. I still like Hal. I can disagree with him and still watch and like him. We are free to have differing opinions. We are not in a cult and we do not worship. MJ Daniel says there may be some homeless who need to be committed against their will, but there is no safe place for them to get help. So the bottom line is, though, yeah, we need to make an emphasis on, I think, having a multi-pronged solutions to homelessness. And I think it's mental health. We need better mental health availability and accessibility, more facilities. But I think we also need things like, maybe job training, education training. We need maybe those kind of UBI kind of a thing, and maybe some free housing, things of this nature. Like I said, those are investments in America that we will see good results from. Mozart says many I don't know if we want to get off on this tangent. It says many blacks choose to be persecuted would be bigoted comment, right? MJ Daniel, I've seen some homeless interviewed. They say they prefer the street to the shelters for whatever reason. Some shelters will not take pets as one. To tell the truth, I don't see a lot of homeless people with pets. I know that there are some that have dogs, but a lot of them don't. So that I see here in Vegas, anyhow. Wes Webb is on the phone. Okay. Mozart, we need a call-in show. Help support the show, help the show grow, and maybe someday I will have that ability. But right now I don't. I'm doing this off an iPad, folks, and an iPhone. So, and if I took a call, it would make the show disappear. But maybe someday I will have that type of ability. So just keep watching. Give me those thumbs ups. That's the main thing. Share the show. Hit that share button. Share it to Facebook. Share it to X. Share it to Threads. Share it to Discord. Share it to your right-wing friends. Share it to your left-wing friends. Share it to everyone you can think of. Get the show out. And maybe once we have the show grows and grows and grows, and then maybe I can get better equipment, and maybe I can do a call-in show. That would be interesting. Gino Maynard says, people with drug criminal records don't qualify for some aid. This is right, and that's what I was talking about, making them criminals. But if you make it illegal to be homeless, does not help the situation. Like Robert Prepon says, you can't get food stamps here with a drug conviction. Michael McGanders, I don't go for the Inquisition-style crap. I think Hal is great and can help everyone stop the Nazis and the extremists. But like we said, we're all entitled to our opinions. We don't have to agree 100% with everybody. It's just like when Hillary Clinton was running for president and against Bernie Sanders in the primaries. Now, I liked Bernie better because I took one of those tests on Facebook, and it says who are you most compliant with? No, it's not compliant, but who are you most compatible with, or whatever it is. And they had all the candidates. It was like Hillary, and there was a whole bunch. It wasn't just Hillary and Bernie at that time, but it was like all the candidates, whoever they were. I can't remember now. And the one that came in was my most compatible Democratic candidate in 2016 election was Bernie Sanders, and I think we were like 93% compatible, or I don't know if compatible is the right word, but in agreement to the issues, right? To all the issues that were being talked about during the campaign. 93%, me and Bernie. But guess who was number two? It was Hillary Clinton. And we were like 87%. Compatible. I'll just say compatible. I don't think that's the right word, but good enough. Okay, and I was like, hey, that's cool. So when Bernie was not going to be the nominee, it was clear he was not, and Hillary was going to be the nominee, I was completely 100% happy. I was like, hey, man, I'm 87% compatible with her. Now I'll take that any day of the week. So I guess my point is you don't have to be 100% in agreement with someone to like them, or to think that they're a great person, or to think that they have a lot of good things to say. So like with me and Hal, I mean, I'm probably 97% in agreement with him, maybe. I don't even know. Who knows? Probably at least in the 90s somewhere. Where it's not 100%, certainly not 100%. So, and it doesn't have to be. It's kind of like Kim Chi in the chat today when I guess Hal has been making fun of Trump for saying 2006. And my first thought was, that's how you're supposed to say it. You're supposed to, that's not, it's not 2000, you can say 2006. But it's just like 1999 or 1979 or 1989. You say 1989, right? So when the year 2000 comes around, well, for 2000 you would just say 2000, and then when 2001 you would say you can say 2001, or you can say 2001. There's nothing wrong with saying 2001. It's just like 1999, 2001. I wouldn't say 2000 or 2000. That would be weird. It's just too wordy or whatever. But 2001 is completely fine. 2006 is completely fine. 2009 is completely fine. Now, if you say 2010, then that's weird, because that would be like the year 20,010, I guess. So I don't agree. So that's I'm just saying that's one place where I didn't agree with Hal, because he seemed to be making fun of Trump and saying that Trump was dumb because he said 2006. Now, I do agree that Trump is dumb. And he doesn't have all the best words like he says he does, and he can barely talk, even though he says he's a great talker. But re-emphasizing and pointing out how he messed up because he said 2006, I don't agree with that. So that was just an example of where I don't always agree with Hal. But I still love Hal, and I still think he's a great guy. I think he's very funny and talented, and he has a lot of, I think, important things to say. And if you don't agree with it, that's fine. Because that stimulates conversation. That stimulates thought process. That stimulates investigation into these matters. Like, maybe we don't think about them. And now we are. Now we're having a whole conversation about homelessness, which I think is great. Because I think it's a big problem. It's not just here in Vegas. It's everywhere. All across the country. When I was a truck driver, I saw homelessness everywhere. Just about everywhere I would see homelessness. So it's a big, big problem. And I think we can't just sweep it under the rug. We can't just turn the other way. We can't just ignore it. It's still going to be there. It's still going to be, festering and growing. So we need to address the problem, and we need to do it in a way that is compassionate and caring, and not look at homeless people as being, something disgusting or evil, or that you just want to ship off to a jail cell or something, or ship them out to a encampment in the middle of Death Valley or in the middle of Kansas or something. That's not going to work. Like I say, we want to come up with caring, loving, compassionate ways of helping people, so that we get less and less and less and fewer homeless people. That should be the goal. Michael McAndrew says, be kind, rewind. No, don't push people around, but give good offers to them, I think. Mozart says, I'm just sort of skipping down. I'm going to so I might be in the middle of sort of some of these kind of threads there, but Mozart says, homelessness, it has one cause, not having a home. The answer is housing, housing, housing. To be fair or whatever, that's very much of an oversimplification, but Kim Proud Dim says, just take away the electoral college would be a great first step. Well, that would be a great step for so many things, yes. And we can't do that until we get the House, the Senate, the presidency, and the states. And right now, the states have an edge in Republican, I think, governors and legislatures. So that's a pretty tall order. The other thing, of course, is that interstate compact, that is getting really close, I think, to being where they have enough states to make that come true. And that might be the only really way, at least in the near term, of being able to circumvent the Electoral College, is that interstate compact. If they can really do it. Kim Brown Dib says tiny houses and new zoning would help immensely. Yes. I would like a tiny house just for myself. But then where do you put it? Because it's hard to put them, like you say, all these zoning laws and stuff like that. There are places where it's almost impossible unless you own your own land somewhere, and it's a whole thing. So yeah, that needs to be looked at too. Because I would love to have it. I've looked at some of those tiny houses, and that's really all I need. It's a nice little living room, a nice little kitchen, a nice little bathroom, nice bedroom. That's all I need. I don't need a fucking mansion. Mozart says, many of the students at my elementary school are homeless. Really? That's sad. They didn't choose that. They don't do drugs. If they have mental illness, homelessness is making it worse. Yeah, and I don't disagree with that at all. I don't doubt that at all, Mozart. I don't doubt that one bit. And I don't think Hal Sparks would doubt that one bit either. Kim Brown Dib says, Roxanne, the zoning restrictions here are ridiculous, but it is clean and safe besides porch pirates. Get you a Ring doorbell. Kim Proud Dim also says, wow, there should be special places for families that are homeless. There's lots of shouldas. There's lots of shouldas that should be. Wes Webb says, just found out today that my ATM is closed on weekends because there are too many homeless moving in. Wow. You only have one ATM? Well, who are you banking with? For what? That's my first question. All the places I bank with have ATMs all over the fucking place. I bank with Capital One, by the way. I was a Wells Fargo customer for like over 30 years. And I know that all the scandals and everyone's saying, leave Wells Fargo. And I just didn't want to do it because I just didn't want to hassle with opening a new account. And then finally, I guess maybe it's been a couple years ago, maybe, or a year, I don't know, a year or 2 years ago. It was really easy. I just opened a new account online with Capital One. I have checking and savings with them, and I finally closed out my Wells Fargo like last year, I guess, after like 30-something years of being with Wells Fargo. But, they're kind of a scummy, or I don't know if Capital One's any better. I hope they are. But I guess, Wells Fargo has been guilty of all kinds of shenanigans, all kinds of consumer, related kind of violations and things of this nature. So just so you know, I finally got out of Wells Fargo. I'm in Capital One now, and they have ATM machines all over the fucking place. And they give you interest on your checking account. It's like 4.25 interest or something like that. Wells Fargo gave me, you know how much interest Wells Fargo paid on my savings account? 0. Mozart, I criticize my friends and family when they're wrong. They do the same to me. I appreciate it. Well, it's your opinion that they're wrong. I mean, obviously there is wrong and there is right, and that's black and white. But I think as far as your criticism of Hal saying he's wrong, I think that's your opinion. Proud Dim says, or 20-01, as my daddy used to say. Yeah, you're into that "ot" thing. That sounds really old-timey, yes. Michael McAndrew says, I think it can be delicate how you write so that others take it correctly. Yeah, it is tricky. I always try to take things with an open heart, trusting the others, trying to say things in a good way. Sometimes I'm wrong. Yeah, that's true, Michael. Because I've written things down that kind of came out wrong, or I didn't write it clearly enough. I've read other people's stuff that I've taken the wrong way. Yeah, it is tricky. It is a tricky thing, that's for sure. Mozart says, what we've seen here, I don't know why I'm going into like Cool Hand Luke thing. What we've seen here is that some people think one criticism is too much and they want you to just keep your mouth shut. That is cult-like. I don't think anyone wants you to keep your mouth shut. At least I don't. I'm just voicing my mild disagreement with you. I would like to think it's a mild disagreement. John McClure says that Kim have been skipping Hal a lot lately. What did he say? You're talking about I think his last homeless conversation was a while ago, wasn't it? Mozart, no one said Hal equal Trump. No one, and neither did I. So I don't know where that's coming from. I never said that anyone said that. Mozart, I'd love a tiny house. Yeah, those tiny houses are really cool. I've seen some really nice ones. Michael McAndrews, is it getting late? Do you got to go? 3:51 p.m. here. It's 12:55 where I'm at. Hope I'm not keeping you. Mozart said Hal could have commented on it. He chose to comment on drug users. Oh, that was his choice. Philly 3000, I'd rather watch him than 2x Mish says Kim at Proud Dim. I'm kind of caught up, so I'm going to read all these, I guess. Mish, Kim, Proud Dim, I will fight you for Ficus. Mozart, I've got to go. Sorry I kicked up a hornet's nest. Chatters, I really do love you all. I want y'all to have housing and healthcare at no cost. Be well. Mozart, hey, thanks. I appreciate you being here. It's good. Hey, it gives me something to talk about, because I go into these shows like really kind of relying on you guys to kind of inspire me as to what to talk about, And so you gave us a great topic about healthcare, and I think that we need to address the healthcare issue, and I think we need to do it in a way where we are looking at it as investing in America and Americans. And the citizens and people who live here. Some are maybe not Americans, but whatever. We need to, and we need to do it where we don't make them into criminals, and that we do realize that there are plenty of healthcare issues, and there needs to be healthcare easily available and accessible, as well as even just medical conditions. There's a lot of people out there that have probably some serious medical conditions going on. That's why we need healthcare for all, Medicare for all. And so we need to make, and there was plenty of suggestions we've already talked about as far as housing and rent control and, and maybe universal basic income or whatever. There's lots and lots of things, but we need to kind of get off the talking part of it and start really, instituting some of these things. And that's the difference between Republicans and Democrats, as I was talking about in the very top of the show about what scumbags basically the Republicans are, and all they are is selfish little greedy bitches that only care about themselves, and they don't really give a fuck about the rest of us. They don't give a fuck about homeless people for sure. And that the difference between them and us, who I think and I hope that we do care and we do want to address this problem with caring and compassion, because out of that we can actually do some good. That's what I hope. You bringing up, Mozart, or somehow, we got on this topic. I hope that's what we get out of it. But boom. Okay. David Willer says, I was wondering, I guess. I was wandering and homeless for 30 years. Truckers saved my ass many times, though they aren't supposed to pick up pictures. Mr. Spock says, Sam on MR sounds like Jordan Peterson too much. What's Sam? I don't know who Sam is. So I'm just going to let that one go by because it scrolled up and I can't see it. I'm not going to scroll back because I don't understand what you were talking about. Gina Maynard says, nuclear desalination. West Webb, my sister, is insane. Big Hook, Walmart is the richest family-owned business, but their employees require food stamps. Minimum wage is not a living wage. If all jobs don't pay enough to live off, then we are subsidizing the rich. Yep. Rob Will 44 is here. Opinions should be kept in your back pockets and don't take them too seriously. I don't know. We're in a chat. We're in an open forum here. We're opinions are welcome here. Okay. And I might push back on your opinion, so don't get all butthurt if I do that. And I'll try to do the same. I'll try to not get butthurt if someone disagrees with me, in my opinion. But this is a talk show, I guess. We have a chat, live chat. And if you're not going to express your opinion, then what are you going to express? I have no problem with people expressing their opinions. I really don't. Maybe people get, I don't know, maybe I come on too strongly if I disagree, and they see that as being argumentative or confrontational. I don't mean for any of this to be confrontational. Argumentative maybe, but not confrontational. I do welcome people's opinions. I don't think you need to just keep them in your back pocket. Otherwise, what are we going to do here? Just twiddle our thumbs and wait for Nick Rich to ask me to do a filter? But I haven't seen Nick Rich in here. He must be watching Benny and Diane. Damn it, Nick, you traitor. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Anyhow, yeah, you're, don't shy away from expressing your opinions in a chat room, for crying out loud. That's what we do. That's what this is about. Roxanne says, that's why I haven't shopped there in years, Big Hook, at the old Walmart. Richest family in the world. Richest company in the world, I think. I don't know if Amazon passed them up, but whatever. Very, very, very insanely rich. And yeah, they have to instruct their employees how to get, food stamps or public assistance, because they know that the wages they're paying them are way too low for them to live. So that sucks. And I think anyone who boycotts or whatever Walmart, good for you. I don't really officially, but I haven't been in a Walmart in a long, long time. I can't even remember how long it's been. But I can't really say that's like an intentional boycott. I just don't go there. But someone on the last show was talking about Elvis costumes, because I was talking about maybe doing Elvis impersonation type of thing. And I forget who it was. Maybe it might have been Price's Greeter or something. Was telling me, but so I was thinking about going to Walmart to check out the Elvis costumes. But you do what you do. You do what you can do. Big Hook says drug addiction and mental illness are attributing factors to homelessness. We don't treat or fund either. Yeah, I think we've kind of gone over all that quite extensively. Generator, my city Stockton had a UBI program with mixed results. I remember Stockton. Then they elect this young guy who was really young, like barely 21 or something. And I think he instituted some of those programs, and I don't remember all the results of them, but I was interested to hearing how that worked out, and I don't think I ever really got the full story on that. So I should look that up maybe. Mr. Spock, I'm just joking, John, trying to get you to do Purple Beard Guy. Really? So you were just joking the whole time? Were you just really joking the whole time? I'm not sure if I believe that. But hey, anything that's going to get the Purple Beard Guy out, I'm all for it. Because when I'm out here, I'm feeling fabulous, and I hope you're feeling fabulous. So, me and my Purple Beard, we might be on the street. I might be just a paycheck away from being out on the street myself, so... But at least I'll have my purple beard and I can be fabulous, whether I'm in a tent over by the river, in my van, which I don't have, so I'll have a tent. Anyhow, but yeah, if your ploy was to get the Purple Beard Guy out, then it worked. Because here I am, brought to you like a hurricane, apparently. I don't know, I'm waiting there. But what about you don't want to see the tough cookie? What is that? What is this I don't know, affection for the Purple Beard Guy? What am I, chopped liver? What am I here, chopped liver? Come on. You don't want to see the tough cookie? Because I'll tell you something about homelessness. It ain't so fun. I've been homeless. And I was just laying there on the ground You don't want to know how difficult it is to be a cookie out on the road and on the street. Just baking in the hot sun. It's not good. It's not good for your complexion. And it's really, it's a bitch. So I'm just saying. You don't want to be a cookie, a homeless cookie. There's ants. It's horrible. It's horrible. And scene. All right. So that was our appearance by our two favorite characters, apparently. Or at least the purple beard guy seems to be the favorite. I'm not sure what you guys think of Tough Cookie. WW says, I had to go to an ATM that gave $100 bills marked, have to use one to pay the lawn helpers. You have weird ATM systems, apparently. Michael McAndrew says, Kmart is gone, Radio Shack is gone, Ben Franklin is gone. Well, he's been gone a long time. Leaping Lizard is gone. Leaping Lizards! My favorite stores, all gone from here. Shit. Half of those I've never heard of, but yeah, we had Kmart's in California. I think, are there any left at all? Did they all go? I think there might be still some Kmart's around, right? Isn't there? Or did the whole chain go under? I'm not sure. W, can you put a frown on the cookie? W, what do I look like? Steve Jobs? Do I look like Steve Wozniak to you? I just push the button and the thing comes on. That's all I can do. All right? Hey, look, he pushes the button. There's a button, all right? What, you think the guy is some sort of computer wizard or something? He can put frowns on the thing? Come on, man. He's a stupid old, dumb old trucker. What do you expect? He's doing the thing on an iPhone and an iPad. That's what, you know. You think he can make a frown or what the hell, man? All right, Cookie, calm down. He was just asking a question. All right, calm the hell down, Cookie. Don't get your dander up. WW says, thank God that I have never been homeless. I have been jobless. Philly 3000, you can't even find a shoemaker store no more. A cobbler. Weren't those called cobblers or something like that? I don't know. At one day, back when Ben Franklin was alive, I think. Jane Amander, he ate his house like a fool. The fool on the hill. Kim Proud Dim, what have I come back to? Did you leave? You went over to Benny and Diane's, didn't you, Kim? Hey, I know you. I'm just kidding. WW says, never get $100 bills at my ATMs. This was a U.S. bank. I knew that some banks around town gave them. I have been to some ATMs that were out of my network, so to speak. I remember that gave you a choice if you wanted 50s. I don't know if they had hundreds as a choice, but I remember they had 50s as a choice. And one time I did that because I thought, hey, I want some $50 bills. Aaron West says, there's one Kmart left in Jersey, I think. Kim Proudden says, remember Zaire? I do not. I have no idea what that even is. Mish says that Kim Proudden, you missed me telling you I'd fight for ficus. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. You were like, I'll fight you, man. For ficus. Fight for ficus. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a fight for ficus. WW says, we are slaves to the software. Rob Will 44. I don't think I've seen that name before. So thanks for being here. I just want to, first of all, say thanks for being here. I hope you give me a like, subscribe, and share. We are 67 thumbs ups. Can we get to 70? That's the question, folks. That is the question of the day. Will we get to 70 thumbs ups? But Rob Will 44 says, lots of retailers closed during COVID or merged with others. Yeah, there were quite a few businesses that went under. That's for sure. And lots of things that were in the process of being built that just stopped. Like as a truck driver, I saw that too. I saw housing developments and shopping centers just boom stopped, and they just sat that way for years, a couple of years, you know, until recently, basically. Roxanne Arfield, do cookies have dander? Well, apparently this one does, because his dander was getting up. WW, can't repair my shoes, supposed to get a new pair every 6 months, which I don't do. Well, you just get them wherever you need them. I mean, who says it has to be every 6 months? I've had shoes that I've owned for years. It just depends on how much wear you put on them and if they wear out. And then, don't be such a cheap bastard and go get you some new shoes instead of looking for a cobbler that hasn't existed since Ben Franklin days, apparently, I think. I don't know. He says Jello is then. Name the time and place. Jello? Jello, you say? Jeff Curley's here. I haven't seen old Jeff Curley. That's a little private joke. There's a store near me that makes custom boots and shoes. Well, there you go. A cobbler, I believe. I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to cobbler. WW, there was a K, but no Mart, apparently. Just a K. Mr. Spock says, when Kmart was liquidating all their stuff, I switched tags and all the steel-toed sneakers in my size, only 3, paid $7 for them, then sold 2 pairs at work for $30 each. I believe that sounds like a crime. I think you just confessed to a crime. Your only hope now is that statute of limitations are maybe keeping you from being arrested right now, because I think you just admitted to a couple different crimes there. Gina Maynard, credit unions. Okay. WW says Kmart somewhere near Shark River Hills that was still open after the ones in Rockford had become Sears or closed. Okay. So there are some Kmarts around. I'm pretty sure there's a Kmart here in Vegas somewhere. Michael McAndrews, Sears is gone. I think we have a Sears too, don't we? Still have a Sears? I think there's still a Sears. WW says, we have a shoe store, or a cobbler maker, I don't know, that can send non-athletic shoes were bought there in for repair. Mr. Teacher there, with that great sentence. Gino Maynard said, blue light special on tangents. Kmart shoppers, we have a blue light special on all that. Remember the big, they actually had the light going and everything. Michael McAndrews says, we have a store shoe here with more shoes than I ever saw. None of them any good, though. So what good is the store? It's like having a store full of, I don't know. I was trying to think of something witty, but I failed. That's why we need Hal Sparks, guys, because he's witty and he's quick. But yeah, what the hell good is that kind of a store? They got a whole bunch of stuff that's no good. Kim Proud Dim says, used to hang out at the mall with my future ex-husband in my parachute pants and his members-only jacket. So young and dumb and beautiful. I think we had a conversation similar to that a couple shows back when we were talking about parachute pants and members-only jackets, and I had both. Big Hook, agreed, John. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for agreeing with me. WW, capitalism, it's the American way. Here we go, back into capitalism. As I've said, and as my dad taught me, we are big enough, we're bad enough, bad in a good way, and we are the biggest, richest, baddest motherfuckers the country has ever known, or the world has ever known, and we can do both. We can have social safety programs, social safety nets, social programs, we can help out people, and we can have capitalism. We can do both, people, we can do both. My dad told me that, and I will take that to my grave. Philly 3000, but don't crumble, John. Yeah, don't crumble. Kim Proud Dim says, I'd give my widow's peak for a good maligner? I don't know what a maligner is, but apparently Kim Proud Dim wants one. Howie Z. Hey, Howie Z. Good to see you. I work for Kmart Service Center, laughing out loud. Well, there you go. Good old Kmart. I remember Kmart when I was a little kid, like in the 60s. And you can get popcorn there and shop around and get what we used to call Zories. Do you guys remember Zories? They're flip-flops, but I remember they were called Zories. Talk about going back in time, right? Kim Proud Dim says, women's what maker? Oh, hat maker. Women's hat maker. So a milliner or milliner is a women's hat maker, I guess. Okay. Big Hook says, I feel like we're going towards the shoemaker and the elves story. Once upon a time, there was a shoemaker. And all the elves came around and said, I need some shoes. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that story. WW says, if you buy your dress shoes, or church shoes, as I like to call them, or Birkenstocks from them, they could be repaired, not sneakers or SAS. I don't know what SAS is. I have no idea what SAS is. So, Kim Proud Dim says, the goodest, baddest, hell yeah, John. That's right. Thomas Garrett says, billionaires for jingoism and Citizens United. I know. We need to get rid of Citizens United. We need to overturn Citizens United. Jeff Curley says, I saw parachute pants in the mall. I think it was Hot Topic. Was that recently? They're bringing them back? Roxanne Armfield says, Kim Proud Dim, I remember when when stores, had hat departments. Well, now they have, what's the one that just sells they're called lids. It sells basically baseball caps. That's my kind of store. I'm a baseball cap kind of guy. WW says, we can't depend on the government for everything. We need to take care of ourselves, health-wise too. We still need health care. We need mental health care. Can't just do that by ourselves. I mean, not all the time, not everybody. We're not all doctors. We need to go to the doctor. You can't just treat yourself. And we can't pay $1 million for cancer treatment. I mean, we need health care. We need health insurance. Rob William 44 says, capitalism was strong today. Lots of shopping. There you go. Stimulate that economy. Philly 3000 says, I remember when chock full of nuts restaurants, we had a little machine. You stuck 50 cents to get a sandwich. Oh, really? Chock full of nuts sounds familiar, but I don't know if I've had this. WW says, I knew milliner from Hello Dolly. Rob William 44, do you remember Alexander's? I do not. Big Hook W, tell me what insurance company will fund the Social Security, disability, and death benefits. Like I said, it's not about depending on the government for everything, you Republican hack. It's about a safety social net, so you don't fall all the way to the bottom. It catches you before you fall all the way to the bottom. Why can't you get that through your thick skull? Republican hack. Why should I pay for your bad habits? Fuck off. Thomas Garrett, M4A could cure hoarding and hate. WW, I believe in universal health care. Well, at least you believe in that. Jeff Curry says, W, I never had any SAS, but always heard they were really comfortable. Kim Proud Dim, my next husband will wear caps as often as my prior to never. Show those beautiful locks or that lovely shine. Well, I guess you and I are never getting together. I sleep in my goddamn hat. I don't really, but Big Hook, W. No offense, but you realize you come off as a selfish asshole. Big Hook, I couldn't have said it better myself. Mish says, put down Kim Proud Dem, Portland, Seattle, San Francisco have milliners. I guess I'm saying it right, milliners. Not sure where you are, but there are some out here. See, we're learning stuff. Rob Will 44, safety net is necessary. Philly 3000, where's the police when you need them? Laughing out loud. Yeah, I've heard that a lot. James Williams says Reaganomics destroyed the middle class by giving the poor people to hate. That's why we need to keep Joe Biden in office and the Democrats, because the Democrats are building from within the middle class, making the middle class bigger and better, brawnier, bouncier. WW, no, but don't ask me to pay for your weight loss drugs so you can eat all you want. That is another one of those tropes. Okay, don't ask me to pay for your boner pills, dude. How is he? Remember Olin Mills? I do think I remember Olin Mills. That was in the mall too, right? That was like a mall thing. Kim Production, Mish, I bet there are some in DC. I can't afford them, nor do I wear hats. Kim says, be right back. How is he? Family photos. Olin Mills. Yeah, I think we may have gotten some of those at one point. Gina Mayer, Barron refused to be a delegate waiting on a higher bid, maybe. Maybe Barron is just the smartest fucking Trump of the bunch and just said, I don't want to be caught up in all your bullshit. Don't get me involved. I just graduated from high school. I'm going to go to college. I'm going to bang a bunch of chicks. Fuck you. I'm out. That's what I think Barron is doing. WW says, I wear caps because my head gets cold and my hair gets messy. I wear caps because I like the way they look. Doesn't my cap look nice? It's got Bruce Springsteen, concert, E Street Band. I love my hat. I look at my hat and I'm like, I love you, hat. I love you. I want to marry you. WW, if you have to pay for your weight loss, I should be allowed to shame your weight, right? No, you can fuck off. You're an asshole. You're just talking about things you don't even know about, so fuck off. Roxanne Armfield says, Gino, I think his mama declined for him. 72, happy belated birthday. Oh, that's right, happy belated birthday. I think I did say happy birthday on the day, but just in case, happy belated birthday. WW, I have excellent insurance. I can pay for my own pills. Well, good for you. Good for you, W. Not everyone does. And not everyone can. And there are lots of things. I think you're just totally over generalizing. Jeff Curley said, I remember when Walmart had workers in the shoe department that would put them on you and try on. Oh, yeah, did they? At Walmart? I'm not sure if I remember that or not. Michael McAndrews, good for you, W. Good little boy. Now leave others alone. James Williams, what happens if the insurance companies collapse? You mean because of having like universal health care? I don't care. No, I care. I know there's a lot of people who work for the companies and they'll be out of jobs, out of work. I guess they could still insure people like WW and give them like Cadillac insurance plans, offer that to them for people like WW who need extra insurance to make sure that they don't touch elbows with, poor people, and make sure they get private rooms if they're in a hospital, or make sure they get, I don't know. I guess that's what would happen. Like if we had universal health care, I guess is that what this is about? Then what would happen to the insurance companies? I guess they could insure other shit. Maybe they could try insuring people in flood zones or something. I know that's not health, that's property insurance, but maybe they could just insure other shit. I don't know. Maybe they can go rip off some other segment of society. I don't know. I'm just kind of skipping down. See, the thing with WW, I know he likes to fuck around with people and push buttons and all that kind of shit. But he's bringing up, there's a good thing here. He's bringing up kind of the Republican talking points. We're talking about talking points. And about why they don't want health care for all, or Medicare for all, or universal whatever. And they talk about, I don't want to pay for your diet pills. I don't want to pay for your, I'm a man. Why should I pay for women's health care? But it does bring up the kind of the crux of it all, I guess, about the benefits of having universal health care. Is it makes the pool bigger. It gets everybody in the pool paying into it. And that's what helps bring the cost down, right? So whatever it is that you need, maybe you don't need an OBGYN because you're a guy, but you might need, guy stuff. So, I mean, it all equals out. I guess what I'm trying to say, it all equals out in the end. We're all paying into the pool. We're all paying with our tax dollars. We'd all be paying into this big health pool. And one person needs this type of health care, another person needs this type of health care, but it makes all the costs manageable. And they have mandates in there where things can't be overcharged, or there's it hedges against price gouging and things like that. So it's not just about weight loss pills. It's about serious, preventative medicine and checkups, getting regular checkups, and getting procedures done. That when you have a checkup and it's like, hey, we found this and we need to get into X-rays. We need to get the X-rays done, and then we're going to have this procedure done. And if we had Medicare for all, the hope is everyone would have access to that, and it would be affordable. So when you bring up just things like, oh, I don't want to pay for your weight loss, basically you're just sort of shooting down the topic, distracting from what the real issues are. And that is about providing health care to everybody and not having large segments of society blocked from that because they can't afford it. That's what it's about. It's not about diet pills. It's not about boner pills or whatever. It's about health care for everybody. Because there's a whole bunch of stuff that comes up. All kinds of issues that come up. It's not just diet pills and boner pills, okay? It's breast cancer, and it's prostate cancer, and it's heart issues, and it's just, it's arthritis or whatever, it's asthma, it's or accidents, like it's the broken bones and whatever, it's everything. It's everything that comes up. It's about making that affordable and accessible to everyone. So when you want to bring up topics like, oh, I don't want to pay for your diet pills or whatever, that's very disingenuous. Not you, W, because I do believe you were bringing that up just to kind of stimulate this conversation. And to play devil's advocate or whatever. But it's about the whole health issues as a whole. I might need something that you don't need, but you might need something that I don't need, but that's okay. Because we're all putting all our tax dollars into it all together. And that creates this huge pool of people, and that's what helps bring the cost down. Big Hook, you should get to work for Fleetwood Mac so you can sing Tell Me Lies, Sweet Little Lies. Rob Will 44, ACA was formulated as an assigned risk program. WW 11 out Big Hook. I don't think I am lying. I'm just advocating for that position. WW, nobody is blocked. Big Hook AW, how about we enforce regulation, not allow lobbying and audit companies, gouging. Roxanne, we need to get insurance companies out of the decision on our health care. Gina Maynard, I'll pay taxes, not just your ass. Not just your ass. Rob Will 44, it would strengthen our society. Yeah, I think so. John McClure, health insurance companies have no value added to healthcare. Hey, Ichabod Deer is here. Finally, hey, we hit 70 thumbs ups, by the way. Thanks, guys. And I was just about ready to say that it's about time to end the show. We've gone almost 2.5 hours. And then Ichabod Deer pops in. Says, I was listening, lurking while doing chores. Okay, we're glad you're here. I think I am about ready to end this monstrosity. Again, if I pissed anybody off, except for W, I don't care if I pissed him off, but if I pissed off Mozart or Mr. Spock or whatever, if I pushed back a little too hard, I think we're all entitled to our opinions, and I don't want to chase anyone away from offering their opinions or point of view. I don't have a problem. I don't really have a problem with it, but maybe my reactions can sometimes be a little too harsh or whatever. And I don't want to discourage people from chiming in and putting their 2 cents worth, and except for WW. He's the only one I don't give a fuck about. But I'm just kidding. Thanks guys for being here. Another great show right here in our really big shoe. Speaking of shoes, everyone, we did have a shoe topic today. It was a really big shoe, but the shoes you can't get anymore. That's right here in the really big shoe. I don't know what I'm doing, but I will be back on Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, and I'm just sort of calling those the Tuesday talks with Trucker John, and then there's a Thursday talk with Trucker John, 9 a.m. Pacific time. So we'll be back Tuesday, Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time for the talks. Tuesday talk, Thursday talk. And then, of course, Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m. we'll do but just remember, I'm Pacific time zone, so adjust accordingly. 3 p.m. Pacific time, we do what's known as the House Parks pre-show warm-up. And I'm sticking to it. Don't care what anybody says. I'm sticking to that title. Because it's a place where we can hang out for an hour before Hal comes on. I think it's a great little thing. It's like a waiting room where we're just waiting together for the show to start. And then Saturdays, this is like today, we do a little post-show Cooldown where we come out. A lot of us, not all of us, but a lot of us were watching the House Parks radio show, mega worldwide radio program. And we can just come out and just hang out for a while, for a couple hours. And hang out. Because sometimes 2 hours of Hal's not enough, and sometimes we need a little more. And I'm not saying I'm Hal Sparks by no stretch of the imagination, but it's for you guys to hang out. And you don't have to be a sparkler to hang out here. You could be just someone who just happens to come see the show, and you just can come in and hang out. So it's open to everyone. It's all inclusive. You don't have to be just a sparkler. You can be a MAGA and hang out, as long as you're not disgusting. The only disgusting person we really allow to hang out in here is WW. So, anyhow, guys, Jeannie says thanks. Kim, crying in my bong. We don't have to get married. We can just keep it casual. Let's keep it casual. Think about Dear Milton Friedman said capitalism cannot exist where there is no competition, like hospitals, which are regional. Milton Friedman said a lot of kind of stupid shit. Very overrated dude, I think. Robin, Will you hear it all good? Aaron West, thanks, John. Thank you. WW, I don't like being called a maggot. Well, who does? Who even the maggots don't like being called maggots. They get really butthurt, and they want to accuse me of being I don't know, immature or something. Which I can't really refute that, if that's the word. Mish says, bye peeps, happy Mother's Day. Yes, happy Mother's Day to all those who are celebrating. Mish says, hugs to anyone who might need one. Thank you, Mish. Hugs are always appreciated, greatly appreciated. And just like you guys being here, the thumbs ups and the all that. Michael McAdger's got a super chat in there. We have memberships, super chats, buy me a coffee, all that good stuff. Thank you guys for being here. Like I said, I just gave you the times when we're going to be back on next. And we will be back on Tuesday, 9 p.m. 9 a.m. I guess I was going to think about maybe doing a walk. Maybe on Monday. Maybe I'll try to do a walk at Red Rock Canyon. Maybe I'll try to do that, and I might try that as a live stream. So always keep your notification button on or whatever, because you just never know. An old Trucker John, I might be walking, might be doing a live stream from the Strip or from Fremont Street or from Red Rock Canyon or from some other place out here that I might think is kind of cool. So, keep your ears open or your eyes open or whatever. But whatever you do, speaking of healthcare, whatever you do, make sure that you walk and you stretch before you walk. I'm trying to get to this because you don't want to pull a hammy. Thanks for being here, man. Thanks for watching the video, hanging out with us, that sort of stuff. It's really cool, I really love it. Thanks. I, Donald J. Trump, do solemnly swear that I've never farted in court ever, not once, not ever, not ever. It's all lies, fake news.